My name is Zanele Maluleke. I work for Blue Label Unlimited. Yes, we are Unlimited. I am the software engineering manager. I've been in the company for almost 2 years now. And I am coming from Giyani, down in the villages of Giyani called Kandengeza. I'm coming from a very big family, Maluleke family, called the clan name Masia. I am a mother of 2 boys, 2 handsome boys, Bangama and Monaka. I love them 2 bits. Yeah, and I did my early education there in the village, my primary and secondary school, before I moved in to face new challenges. So being a rural girl, I did my high school studies in the very same village, high school called Ndengeza High School. And what inspired me into this space, well, during the time of my studies there were not actually career exhibitions, there were science centers, you know. There would be a point in time where there's a science center in Zanele and stuff like that, and I would be elected to participate on those ones. And going into those spaces, we would explore more about the science and technology and stuff like that. I would only see a computer in the principal's office. That was, yeah, I never, interacted with a computer. So I was always curious to understand what's happening in there, all of that. Fortunately enough, when I matriculated and then I had to come to Joburg, pursue my studies and all of that, my brother and sister, they were helping me establish what I would like to do. And they said, do IT, because IT has many jobs, Yeah, the pool there is that full. So go into IT. And because of that curiosity, and I thought that, whatever that they will position me to, would lead me into the right direction. So I always had that faith that, my seniors would give me that right guide in life. And then I enrolled for IT. Challenges were there because by the time I received my matric results, I was one of the top three students in my high school. The day I was supposed to go collect my results, my matric statement came out pending. Some of the subjects were missing, meaning that I would be delayed for another year because I had to get that. Well, that year was quite challenging because I also had challenges with my ID. I applied for my ID 3 times, wrong identification pictures, wrong ID numbers, up until I got it. The 4th time it was right, but my Zanele does not have an E. So I believe that was the most challenging year of my life. And my matric results came out pending, and because of that, it was quite challenging. But with the help of my principal, and I think the HOD at that time, they went to the Department of Education. They, went there with all the proof. This is one of the students that does not miss class. She's always at school. She has been performing very well, and these are her results. And all of that, I think they managed to get a fix for it. And unfortunately, 2009, by the time the results were corrected, the universities had closed by then. Even though I had received acceptance at Vaal University of Technology, for that year I had to go to a college to do a year course, just so I am busy with something. So that's what my family decided. I then did a diploma in IT programming, and that's where I started my career. And then that's where I started my studies. And then I went to, after the year after, then I was accepted in Vaal University of Technology. I started my career doing information technology, well, I was not longer focusing only on programming, but I was focused on other streams as well, like your information systems, your Cisco networking, where you did your A+, programming as well, business analysis, accounting studies. I did the whole animal as a whole. But then what led me or inspired me or what actually pushed me into choosing programming, there was this lecture called Kotze. This other day in class, he just identified me to answer one of the programming questions that we were busy writing in small program. And then he said, Mrs. Maluleke. And then I was supposed to say what the answer was or bring the solution to the table. And I did bring the solution to the table. And from that day, I did not want to go to the class unprepared because I knew that it was going to call my name out and I needed to excel or I needed to showcase what I was, good at. And so that gave me a homework every day to make sure that whatever that I was given from class, I actually practice it. And that's how I started loving programming. So that's how I started. Tech is a very interesting space. Well, just being a contributor in providing solutions, stepping into leading people and actually bringing solutions that impact people's life, real life, every day, day to day. That is the biggest milestone I've ever achieved. And just recently got promoted into this managerial role. To me, that speaks volume. And being a leader as a female, that speaks so much volume. I know there's a lot of women in IT. Most of them, they are in like your business analysis space. They are in their help desk support space and stuff like that. But you find few women in software engineering. And being a manager in that space, that speaks volume. And I'm so grateful to have stepped up to that, discomfort, because it's not only about the role itself or what you're actually doing, but it's the discomfort that takes you from being comfortable and wanting to achieve and being there and helping people deliver through you. That is the biggest achievement I've ever done for myself. How do I start my day? Well, my day starts differently depending on the day. Sometimes I've got, very late releases because of the nature of our space, our environment. It's a very critical space to be in. You cannot afford, downtimes and stuff like that. So sometimes my day starts very early because we do not want to impact the delivery of the solution to our consumers. So sometimes I would be working late at night when everyone is sleeping. Sometimes my day starts very early, but sometimes it does start at a normal time, like your 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock and stuff like that. At my place of work, when I start working, of course, I engage with my team. I understand if the team needs to be unblocked with, other spaces or other teams. Do we need assistance with DevOps team? Do we need assistance with infrastructure and stuff like that? So actually, we do have a lot of initiatives going on because of the kind of space that we operate in. We support both modern systems and we also have, our legacy systems. So we have very interesting technologies that we have identified as our tech stack, especially focused on the modernized platforms, where we do, Spring Boot and also microservices. We have interesting stack around that space. So that's what I love about what I'm doing every day. Another thing is that, within our space, we do a lot of solution design, integrating with the team, having a community of practices with our developers, structuring our solutions, writing pseudocode and stuff like that. So it's quite an interesting space to be in. And every day we are faced with so many complex problems that we have to solve for. But what I'm proud about is that each and every day we find a solution to each and everything that we're faced with. And that's what empowers me and also the team, because we do not just sit down looking at the problem, but together we collaborate and ensure that our architectural solution actually delivers the digital solution that the company and the people that are benefiting from that solution, their needs are met in that regard. You know, I have never worked with a female developer in my space. Yeah, I've never worked with a female developer. From being a developer, being a tech lead, to being a software engineering manager. There was one intern that I got here, but then unfortunately she left. So yeah, that is quite challenging because all the time the room is filled, you know, by bold voices. So, but what's really humbling with all of that is that as a woman, my voice was heard within those spaces. So I would really like to commend all the men that I've worked with, that, you know, their egos did not really temper with anything in my space. They respected me and they treated me as, you know, one of theirs. And so that has been quite challenging because sometimes, you know, if you are having events, you have to be the only female. Then you have to associate with the guys. So yeah, that has been the only challenge. But besides that, I think we all speak the same language because we speak a language that no other people understand. It's our own technical language, which is beautiful. So yeah, you know, I really believe that is a perception that people have around, you know, being a software engineer or a developer as a female, that you can't deliver or you can't do it. And, you know, that perception goes with a lot of fear, maybe towards women. And, well, that is not true, you know. Software engineering is all about where you identify your strength and you capitalize on that. Build your resilience as well as a female to say, this is my strength. I started as, you know, a developer, you know, and I worked on CMS management systems, and then I did front end, and then I was curious to do back end, and then I was then identified as a full stack. And from there, I moved into different spaces like your DevOps, you know, understanding other areas as well. So you just need to identify your strength and start building on that. As you build up to the point where you feel that you are equipped fully, and I believe that you can actually do it. I really don't believe that women do not belong into the tech space. It's a mind and how you approach, you know, the challenges. So I believe that women are capable enough of doing this job. I'm one of them who are able to deliver through this job in the tech space. And one of our augmentation partners, there's this very beautiful female who is in a very senior role. She's a developer and she's doing quite well. Maybe I should mention her name. Her name is Santana Sitole. She is doing very well in this space. I like her work. And yeah, that is for me a win. And in the years of my career, is the first time I meet a woman like her who is maybe having the same approach or the same understanding and the same, you know, mentality towards this space. So it's a very friendly space, depends on how you approach it and your resilience, and you just need to keep up your chest up, that's all. So my advice to, you know, the young people, young females, still in varsity, some of them are still in high school and all of that. I would say that, you know, come to this space. This space is very welcoming, depending on your attitude and you're eager to learn. I think that's what it all needs. That is the first skill you need to have. being eager to learn. Of course, there's a lot of mistakes. Learn to accept criticism and embrace it, instead of, falling back when somebody criticizes you for the work that you have produced. Embrace it and make them smile the next time they see you, because you've done, something greater out of that criticism. So this is a very good space to be in as a woman. Just learn and don't stop learning. Learning can be, learning from your peers. It can be learning from your managers, learning from other people that are, in other organizations. Find out what are they doing, online tools, online learnings, stuff like that. Just learn and get as much as you can, and have a role model in life. And I'm saying have a role model because I also did not have one, but I think I had many males that I was looking up to, even though I did not tell them, but I really liked how they would approach things and how they would do things. And I wanted to be, in that space. And that really helped me to be where I am with my career. So to young females out there, do not stop, do not stop pushing hard. And don't ever think that the only space that you can actually settle in is the other spaces besides software engineering or software development. This is a good space for you. Let us solution this technology together. I need more women around me. And I do not want to take it for granted that, throughout my life, the greatest balance that I've been receiving was from the grace of God. Because through all the challenges that I have faced in my life, if it wasn't for the Lord who was on my side, where would I be? So I really thank God for His grace. Some of these challenges, I believe that the Holy Spirit was, accompanying me, fighting all these challenges. I would have been one of those whom, later in the years that you married to somebody you don't know because of the ID challenges. And of course, my matric results, if I didn't have people that were supporting me, God was helping me to get the right people in the right place to do all this, right things and help me. I believe maybe I was gonna be redundant and be nothing, but I want to appreciate the grace of God for always being with me, because sometimes you can know a lot, but you can also forget even when you go to interviews, and even when people are looking for you, you forget what you are about and what you're capable of. So God, thank you so much. Thank you to the heavens for always being there and surrounding me. Yeah, I'm a child of God, and I would remain humble for all the things that God has paved for me. He says, I know your way. And because of that, I do not have any doubt that God is paving the right way for me. So thank you for having me. You also just helped me realize the transition over the years in my career, from being a woman behind the code, just being a single contributor, to being a leader, and actually, building a future in providing software solutions into this space. And I'm still looking forward to do that a lot and empowering a lot of women around me and all over the world. So yeah, thank you.